Hello. I would ask you to take a nice breath in and a big sigh. Let the breathing come back to normal. Welcome to Touching the Edge. I'm Drake, and this is the 40-day commitment to having more of a yes to your life, more of a yes to whatever happens today, making today important. Today is so we're crucial in your life. So it's the 40-day practice, and these 40-day practices are important in my life. About 3 or 4 times a year I do them. And, it kind of reminds me when I first got into doing meditation practice. I was quite young. In 1972, I was 8 years old, and the TV show Kung Fu came on the air. And it was an interesting show. It was at a time when I was at a very challenging period of my life and was often afraid in the situations I was dealing with. And there was this young boy who was going to this monastery, and he was trying to get in. He was impoverished. He was a mixed race young man, and eventually they let him into this monastery. And over the course of his life, all the way through his early years, all the way through adolescence into his early manhood, he's being trained by these Taoist monks. And it was such an amazing thing to me. It was something that I craved. I craved mentorship, and he had this mentorship and the wisdom. They seemed to be pointing to something that was beyond what I was seeing in my day-to-day life. And so, it makes me kind of think about how great that would be to have the opportunity to study with a great teacher. A great teacher. Imagine that. Imagine if you had the opportunity to study with the greatest teacher in the world, and you actually went through a great deal of effort to be able to sit with this person. Maybe it's the Dalai Lama or whoever that person might be. And wouldn't you, if you sat with that person and you had to go through a lot of challenge to even get to be there, you knew you were fortunate. You knew that there were many, many other people who would love to be in your shoes. Wouldn't you follow this teacher's instructions? Wouldn't you be open to ideas or ways that this teacher, this man or woman, would be giving to you that maybe you would be skeptical of, but because of your depth of respect, you'd be willing to go for it. You'd be willing to do what they suggest. So to me, in these 40-day practices, the way that I approach them is that it's as though I get to sit with that teacher, and anything that happens during that 40-day practice, I consider that as being meant for my good, meant for my edification, my growth. And so what I would like to suggest to you is that anything that happens during these 40 days is meant to happen during the 40 days. And to take anything that happens as a blessing, as something that's actually being used to train you. It'd be as though you'd be training in a dojo with some very challenging individual. Now, they may be bigger and stronger than you, but because you are training with them, you're in the martial arts studio, and they're a friend of yours, even though you may be sparring with them, they're doing it for your good. Whatever's happening for you during this 40 days is for your good, if you frame it that way. Even in very, very challenging circumstances, whatever happens, we don't have a limit. Even in circumstances that are really heartbreaking, we want to always recognize that what happens during the 40 days is meant to happen during the 40 days. So this is day 23 of our 40-day practice. Let's make use of it today, as though today was a gift to us that is here to have us grow. Maybe even that ultimate growth, that point where you shift into an awakened perspective. Maybe that's today. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I love when you guys come. This is great. I hope you enjoy it as well. I'm going to ring the bell. Listen carefully. I bring my hands in celebration. I bow to you because I know that whatever happens today is meant to happen for today. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, my friends. Thank you.